I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it made me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when today we got them.
Hey, one time for Kingpin shirt. What does this say?
The baby jugsters.
Jugsters.
This was a gift from a friend of mine.
That's
who
fire.
happened to go to a Commonwealth state in our United States of America, Virginia.
Yep.
And ran across the baby jugsters merch table and whole thing. And she brought me this. And of course, I'm the juggernaut, so it only makes sense that I have the baby jugster shirt on. But the shirts kind of fly. They got some pretty cool characters on here.
Shout out to Norfolk.
And yeah, shout out to Norfolk. I shout out to Virginia, period, man. Shout out to Don't Fall Entertainment. Shout out to We the Ones. I love Virginia, the DMV, DC, Baltimore. I love that part of the country, man. Good vibes, good times, good people.
Their music is starting to make a nice little wave now.
I love it. I'm
like
so
how
loving it.
I know this may
Go-go
sound. I mean,
music.
this may ruffle some feathers, but I like how it's not just Atlanta anymore.
Right.
I just like to hear a variety. Like I like how it's New York. I like how it's Memphis. I like how it's Dallas, Houston. I'm starting to see some
Detroit.
West Coast vibes. Detroit. I like this.
Detroit's killing it.
Florida.
Yeah, I love Detroit. Ice Revezos, Skrilla Baby, all of these young brothers and young sisters, man, they're really starting to make a lot more noise. And it's amazing to see all of these young entrepreneurs really, taking the gamble on themselves. And I'm just, while we do the cheat code, man, I just hope that these young brothers and young sisters are protecting themselves and are doing everything that they can
That's why we're doing this.
to put themselves in a better position to leverage. I seen a video where I want to say it was Young Thug was saying that, his mind, he wanted to get 100 people and give them all 1% of the label, and then his dream would be to sell the label for $1 billion and then bust it down. So, those are the type of goals. Those are the type of things that I don't believe that as a industry or as a community, we don't put enough emphasis on when these guys are speaking these things, these grand things into existence, when these guys are talking about revitalizing neighborhoods and financial wealth, when Waka Flocka goes on and starts talking about financial literacy, people change the channel and they'd rather not listen to those conversations. Oh, somebody's talking about getting shot. Yeah, turn that up. And it's just, sometimes we got to talk about it. So shout out to the young entrepreneurs, baby jugsters, and everybody. If you got a clothing brand, if you got a t-shirt, hat, Goatly, Maui and Sons, whatever, man. Anybody that's putting what they have to get to the bag, I salute you, man. And send me a t-shirt so we can wear it and get some people to buy your stuff for you.
I was going to say, shout out to the artists that do things correctly. The artists that are actually educating themselves and entering the metadata and have great teams. We don't talk about that enough. We always kind of
Agreed.
we always kind of talk about
The problems.
But shout out to the artists who actually
That's me.
do what. I think we all do. I think a couple episodes ago, I get frustrated. I get frustrated a lot. But shout out to the people who don't make me frustrated. The artists who are easy to work with. The artists who put their career first and make time. The management teams who work together, even though sometimes it's a lot to deal with because there's so many different personalities. But shout out to the teams that are really good and make shit happen. Like for real.
That's
rarely talked about.
Very rarely do I ever hear somebody ever tell me, thank you.
Right.
For, we say it to each other.
Which is why I tell you that all the time.
Which is why our relationship is the way it is. But very rarely does somebody fully understand what it is that we do or the effort that it took to complete that task or how we may have over-delivered. And sometimes just those two words is payment enough. Sometimes, thank you. A genuine thank you is always going to fucking make it better. Always,
Facts.
at least for me, man.
Facts.
I think in our line of work, so little of a thing like as showing up to something may seem simple, but in our line of work, maybe I put out 10 fires just to be here right now because this was important for you, said artist or whoever producer, manager, and we're so busy on our schedules doing multiple things. But yeah, it's a lot.
It's like when you were a kid, and you had a recital and you looked into the crowd and you didn't see any familiar faces, it kind of, bothered you. Right. And if you looked into the crowd and seen familiar faces, you felt comfortable. You wanted to shine. You wanted to give more. And it's that same principle. Are you showing up for each other in this business? Are the people that you're calling on to help you when you have a problem, are you calling them to see if you can help them when they have a problem? Are you showing up not only for yourself, but for your team. And I think we definitely don't talk about that at all. We don't talk about anybody other than, we always say it's self, self, self. You got to do more. You got to do more. You got to do more. And for the ones that do have a team, are you praising them? Are you taking time out to build with them? You had mentioned on one of the past episodes of doing the Rory's bowling night. If you have 4 or 5 people in your life, what are you guys doing once a month, once a week, once every 2 months, once every 3 months to kind of build that chemistry? Are you
Team building.
Team building. Are you guys going out to, picnic? Are you guys, that may sound lame, but going out to eat.
It's not lame.
Going out to the park, throwing some meat on the grill, pause. Damn, I can't say that. Throwing some barbecue meat on the grill so everybody can enjoy. Throwing some hamburgers on the grill and hot dogs.
Thank you.
Right? So,
my man.
Or, having a movie night, appreciate y'all. Having a movie night or, inviting people over to a studio session, all of those different things. Are you participating in any of those things? And, it could be, I'll give you guys an example. My birthday dinner when Wendy and a couple of us that went out to grab a bite to eat. And it was really cool because it wasn't amongst friends and it wasn't amongst coworkers. It was amongst people that wanted to celebrate.
Yeah.
And when I sat at that table, I wasn't sitting with friends or with people I work with. I was sitting with people that cared about me. And it had nothing to do with a friend or a family, but it had to do with that love and that emotion and that energy that we were all transferring across the table. And I think that's super important because I think that's one of the reasons me and my wife's relationship is so strong is because we do a lot of that.
I think the common denominator is you care, right? But the crazy thing about this is, in the way I think shit works, is this may be our lowest viewed episode because we're not talking about anything that's jolting.
Right.
We're not talking about anything that's going to get people to be like riled up and typing in the comments because this is all positive, right?
Right.
So when we are there for each other, you can look at positive versions of it in successful things. Like one time for DJ Drum and the whole generation now, that is an example of everything working together and coming together.
Yeah.
Like you can look at all these things and say, okay, they have the proper team in place. Is there issues within that? I'm pretty sure there are always going to be some hills and hurdles, but in all, everything worked to make it happen. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, amen. And people that have a team and that are able to find those people that they are okay losing with, because make no mistake about it, that's the hardest part about the team is
the L's.
Finding the people that you can lose with and learn with.
Yeah.
Because anybody can be with you to win. As long as y'all winning, everything is great. Nobody's shit stinks. The socks don't smell bad. You're not late. You're right on time. Nothing you say is wrong. The minute everybody starts losing, it's all your fault. You didn't do enough. And so find the people that you're comfortable taking L's with.
That's when the true character comes out.
Yeah.
When shit goes wrong.
Yeah, I want to shout out to us because we've been consistent with this for over a year and we haven't made $1. If anything, we spent money.
Yeah.
And sacrifice.
We spend money every week to get over here to record it. All of us spend money.
For real.
Yeah. So I think, that never really goes said because it's just a lot to even make this happen. But everywhere I go, and I was in LA, Chico, man, let me shake your hand. Thank you for that. And this is all the way in Los Angeles, 3 hours back. People are tuned in for sure. And even if it's just one person at a time.
I'm thankful.
It just makes me say, okay, cool.
I look at it as we're training the next executive. We're empowering the next artist. We're equipping the next producer. All these are the ones that we're talking to, and we're using the experiences and the trials and tribulations of the people that they respect now to kind of put that on the front for them to see. So it took us a long time to get to the point of wanting to do the cheat code. And I honestly believe because it wasn't the right time, but now the time was right. And high five to you guys, because you guys do a lot. I do a lot. All of us do. But nobody ever gets to look you guys in the face and tell you thank you for what you do. So on behalf of the coders, thank y'all, man, for real. Rory, with a pregnant wife and going around, flying all over the country, a new job, sleep. New career, new sleep, and still finding a way to come in here to the cheat code every week. Thank you, Wendy. Same principle, flying all over the world, all over the country, moving around, doing 1,000 different things. Thank you. And to me, my thanks comes from the people. I love when they get on the comments and when they engage, and that's my thank you. That lets me know we put something out that you're enjoying. When you want to talk good or bad about it, that's my thank you. You thumbed it up, you didn't like it, that's my thank you. So the people are always telling me thank you. You guys are always telling me thank you. So maybe you guys need to hear it from us, man. Thank y'all for everything that y'all are doing for the culture. It's necessary. We need to do it. If not, we're going to be on the outside of this. And this is something that we all love. And I was trying to get in the inside of the music building for so long. And now that I'm in here, I hate to believe, like, you ever want to get inside somewhere and then when you get in there, you're like, man, this shit looks really fucked up. This looked better on the outside. I didn't think it was going to look this crazy. And that's kind of how I am. But instead of just sitting around looking at it, I want to fix it.
But you're making it better.
Yeah, I want to make it better for the next person.
You always have been ever since I first met you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's all I want to do.
Always make it better.
It's weird, right? I never really thought I'd be a music exec at a label. The opportunity presented itself to me. And being in the building, I went to the LA office and I just walked around and I just was sucking in the energy. And I was like, wow, okay, I actually do work here. Because in Atlanta, I work remotely. But
that logo over that door, though, I seen that picture.
Yeah,
nice.
I had to take it. I
love
right?
that picture.
So, and I took like several different ones. But I say that to say it was a lot to take in. But being in the building, which is so hard to get in,
right?
There are a lot of. I did realize that it's actually easier to get in than you think. There are a lot of entry level occupations that
positions,
you can
right?
apply for to get into. You just need to know what to do. It's kind of like the music industry, which it obviously is. You have to figure out, research, and say, okay, how can I get in? Because I met several people who just started, but you have to be willing to make a sacrifice too. Because some people move. I'm in Los Angeles. People move from New York all the way to LA. Because a lot of these things are not remote based.
Correct.
A lot of these entry level things. And then you think of labels, you would have, if you're in Atlanta, you have to think, okay, who's in Atlanta? You have LVRN, you have QC, you have a few others, but you have to start thinking about, okay, what label is where, okay, and what they have going on, how do I apply? And then you go apply. And you may have to meet some people. You may have to rub some elbows. Like this is going to take effort for sure, but it's definitely more possible than I thought it was.
One of our
Everything
coders.
you want, though. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Everything you want takes effort. It takes effort to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't understand why somebody wouldn't make effort for something they really want.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah, what
you
else
know
are
what I
you
mean?
gonna
Like,
do?
why not live your dream?
Because you're going to work for somebody who followed theirs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they're doing that now. If you're working somewhere, you're working for somebody who followed their dream, whether that's Walmart, Target,
whoever,
marketing firm, whoever. That's somebody's marketing firm. That's someone who owns that, who said, you know what, I'm going to start something and create something, and then you're working for them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
one of our coders was, speaking like on some, man, I would love to get some more scoop on jobs in the industry. And I'll say it on this show, and I told them in the comments, send us a DM Rari with the question of the day and tell them, hey man, send me that email blast of jobs. I get an email blast every morning of a list of all of the jobs hiring in the music industry every day. Every single day I get that list. It's like the classifieds delivered to my inbox
awesome.
for every, so anybody that wants that list, please man, feel free to network. You gotta engage though. Don't just come out the blue and, hey man, can you tell me what the 9 versions of the songs are underneath the video where I tell you what the 9 versions of the songs are. Some of this stuff requires you to do some work. If I see you putting forth the effort, then I will open my entire toolbox and resource pool to you and tell you to have at it because I see that you want to build something great like I want to build.
Let me just say something also. A label executive job is kind of lonely. We have to travel a lot. We're always on our phone.
Always.
We're on Instagram and social media.
We're
memoed to death. Meeting to death. We're always in our phone. If you ever come across one, make sure that you professionally introduce yourself and follow up with them because record execs are the king and queens of following up. So that may be the first person you may want to associate yourself with. And guess what? You can go on the website and you can find everyone's name.
Every single one of them.
And then you can just type their name in, and a lot of record execs, they have their first and last name on their profile
Email
on social
address,
media.
phone number.
You can literally go on their Instagram page and DM them because their job is to be cool with as much people as possible because their job is relationship based. Their job is relationships.
Yep.
Who knows who? If I can get Wendy on the phone, can I get Kingpin on the phone? Can I get Wendy to show up here? Can I get Kingpin and his wife to show up here? That is the majority job of what we do. We have to be cool with PDs. Can I get this PD to show up? Yep. So my thing is, you can approach these people if that's something that you want to do. They're very approachable.
There's also LinkedIn, which is the social media platform for people that have jobs.
They're all on there.
Everybody's there. They all respond. You can interact with them.
I don't have a job, so I don't have a LinkedIn profile. I get the emails though. I get like about 40 searches a week. But
now you get the job. Whether you stay there, that's all on you. However, I just think if you look, you shall find.
I don't have a job. I'm lazy. I don't do anything. I just wake up and hang out with y'all.
Liar.
I don't have a job.
I think Kingpin's job. I'm like a.
You have a mission.
I'm like a third Kingpin.
I'm on a mission.
You have a mission.
I'm a third Kingpin, right? Kingpin's job might be the most diverse, difficult.
Thankless. And, he has a thankless job.
Because you kind of like you get like you got to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, I get the shit under the stick.
I was thinking about you on the way in today because I was thinking how difficult it is for you. You deliver something that's so necessary, but it's not something people want. It's not glamorous. It's not going to bring the fame.
Not glamorous.
So you're delivering a needed service, but it's not fun. It's not.
Nobody appreciates.
Nobody appreciates
it. Like,
it exactly, but it's so necessary.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up, Kingpin, and then just go back to it. And they're like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But we all know what it is. That the ones that know.
Yes.
And that's why it's so disheartening to me when the ones that I expect to know don't know.
Right.
Then it's just like,
right,
my boy. What were we talking about?
I'm a little dumbfounded that the majors haven't come to you yet, because once they realize what you do, they're the ones that have the biggest budgets and they're the ones that need this the most because they don't have somebody inside of their system that's doing this properly.
Because the less that's proper, the more that's left to collect.
I will say also, I have been seeing
that black
more.
box is financially valuable.
The less people know, the less people know, the less it's organized. Why would I want somebody?
There's money in chaos.
If anything, I would be a major's biggest asset and an independent's biggest nightmare.
Right.
Because right now I'm the opposite. Right now I'm an independent's biggest dream and a major's biggest nightmare because you can't come in and take it from them.
Right.
It's already established and claimed by us.
Right.
Whereas if we did this for a major, you think people are upset now. Boy, if I had a major budget, if I can bring an artist into a room for 4 hours, look at this camera, turn left, say these words, turn right, say these words, take this picture on, read these drops, go in the room and do this script, and I'll see you next year.
Right.
See you next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I was at these, if it was the other way around, that I was with the majors, I would be the major's biggest asset and an independence nightmare because it's all about ownership. And that's why, to me, it's so baffling. And to everybody else is because nobody really understands. We're all still learning this. It's still new.
But I say that to say I was in a couple of label meetings and they are starting to implement it a lot more because now in the meetings is the digital team and it's someone who is learning the data, the metadata, of course. And I've never seen that before, right? And I've been there, say, 6 months now. When I first was in there, no digital team. That was in the meetings. Now, full digital team, and it's international team. And international team for the international artists and the U.S. artists. So I'm starting to see that it's starting to get implemented, but not to the degree of what you do.
Right, not to the, because we go deep into it because we understand that the origin, all of this stuff, the internet, computers, ChatGPT, Midjourney, archives database, the origin, where did it start? That is the key. If it's your song, who uploaded it, where did it get uploaded, what time and what day, the birth date, all of that shit matters.
It does.
It may not matter to you right now,
but it will.
But it will matter to you.
And you will get very angry. You will get very frustrated that you didn't do it because whoever did it for you
didn't do it at all and overlooked it. Or didn't put any emphasis on it. You have to understand how many. You're talking to somebody that deals in bad news, so I have to work with it. I'll get an artist YouTube channel that'll have 15 videos on it. a year after the fact, and then I'll have to go ahead and it's like, do I call somebody and tell them that all of this shit is wrong? And then do I turn into that guy that's the bitch and complaining about everything? Or do I fix it all and don't ever tell them that there was a problem? And then do I become that guy that's just the heel? I'm the doormat. Just give it the Kingpin. He'll fix it because he doesn't complain. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Correct.
If you point out all the problems, then you become unworkable, you're bitter, and you're disgruntled, and all you want to do is complain. If you don't point out the problems, you know what it does to you? It eats you. Because now you start to hold those people resentful. The people I look at, I want to choke the fuck out of them.
And you don't give them the opportunity to get it right. So you're actually taking knowledge from them.
Enabling.
Yes.
In a certain way.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Definitely things we want to fix in the industry, man. And it all comes, I guess, with ego and pride. So check your ego at the door. Check on your people. Be proud to be who you are. Everybody else is already taken.
Cheat code.
Cheat code.
You bitch. Dark Max.